All right, what's up and welcome to the channel. My name is Hegshot. Thank you so much for joining me today as we're going to check out two of the bigger concealed carry guns on the market and show you all the pros and cons, take you to the range, and tell you my overall opinion and which one I like the best and why at the end of the video. If this is your first time stopping by, please make sure you subscribe, hit your notification bell, and if you want to join me for music or motorcycles or gaming or anything else I do, I'll leave a link down below so you can subscribe to my other channels. Love to have you over there. Big thanks to you guys for your support. Let's go ahead and get started. Basic specs here, man. Let's talk about the Hellcat Pro, brand new gun on the market. You're looking at 3.7 inch barrel, 1 inch wide, 21 ounces unloaded, 6.6 inches in overall length, and 4.8 inches high. Going to the P365 XL. I've had this gun for a while now. It's been a great one. Specs on this one, 6.6 inches, 1.1 inch wide, 4.8 inches high, 3.7 inch barrel, and 20.7 ounces unloaded. What that looks like, slide to slide, about the same, and because they have the optics, it's kind of hard to show you this, but they're about the same all the way around. The big difference is in capacity. The XL, 12 rounds, the Hellcat, 15 rounds. They both come with 2 magazines, by the way. Let's go ahead and talk about the features on the Hellcat Pro. Front and rear slide serrations. This one came with the Hex Wasp 3.5 MOA dot. 2-year battery runtime. This thing has actually been pretty incredible. You got a loaded viewport right there so you can see your brass in the chamber. You have this tritium sight up front, which has a nice yellow bright dot around it. U-notch in the rear here, so you have a decent contrast there. I wish this was squared off and blacked out, but it is what it is, not too bad. Grip texturing from your thumb to your support thumb to your hand. You get it all the way around. It's a nice subtle texturing. They did a really good job as far as that. Magazine release right there. The mags pop right out of the gun. No issue at all. There you go. You can work the slide stop as a release, by the way. Magazine release is reversible. Picatinny rail right there, so you can add your accessories. The XL has a Picatinny rail too, although it is a proprietary rail. Front and rear slide serrations. This one has the Romeo 0. Very similar dot. And this one does co-witness too, but what I like better about this one is the co-witness sight is higher. So basically you can still see most of your front sight post, as opposed to this one. It's cut so low back here, you only see really the top part of that front sight. Not a huge fan of that at all. But what I am a huge fan of is the contrast. Blacked out rear, x-ray sight, that nice green dot, and tritium insert. Incredible. Slide stop, you can work it as a release as well. Magazine release is reversible. Flat face trigger, we'll talk about the triggers after the shooting part of the review. Grip texturing is a nice balance. It's, again, it's kind of like the Hellcat in a way. You just don't get the thumb support and the support hand piece right there, but overall, the way the guns point, the way this gun points specifically is really nice. Magazine release, a little bit harder for me to get to just because of the angle, but it's still not too bad. 12 round magazines. Breakdown of both guns, super simple to do. Lock it back, slide it down, comes right off. Single captive recoil spring, metal guide rod. The Hellcat Pro, slide it back, lift this up, make sure you're clear, pull the trigger, boom, comes right off. Dual captive recoil spring, metal guide rod as well. Super easy to maintain. Put them back together. And this one has more of a full rail setup right there. Slide that up, boom, good to go. So let's go ahead and hit the range. I'll show you how they did out there, and then when we come back, we'll talk about the triggers and pros and cons and which one I like more and why. I'll see y'all in a minute. recoil feels about the same. Maybe this one's a little bit jumpier. Grip is comfortable. I like the way the iron sights co-witness with this gun better than the other one.
Oh.
Use the other target. All right, so both of these guns, what they offer compared to something like a Max 9, a Shield Plus, the regular P365, is increased size and capacity. And that really is important for a lot of people because there's a lot of people with bigger hands, or, you know, they don't want to lose the capacity of their, you know, Glock 19s or their Smith & Wesson compacts, but they want something thinner and lighter. And this really offers that. But again, you have 3-round difference, although the XL is an older design. You still get that really good capacity while still keeping the thinness and the lightness, and the overall height is still pretty much shorter than most of your small full-size guns, or compacts, if you will. Overall, though, both guns did well at the range. Let's talk about the trigger on the P365 XL. You have this flat face trigger. These guys did an amazing job here, really. Reset. Boom, right there. Let's pull it really quick. Let's pull it. 5 pounds, 13 ounces. Under 6 pounds, man. And this is one of the biggest attractions of this gun because it's such a good shooter. Feels very good in the hand. That trigger is amazing. The Hellcat Pro is kind of like the Hellcat in a way. You have that little dingish right there. Hit the wall. Little bit of creep there, and then it breaks. Reset. Super audible and tactile. Let's pull it really quick, see where we're at. 7 pounds, 1 ounces. So even in the review is about 7 pounds is what you're going to get with the Hellcat Pro. The difference here, man, mainly is in the trigger, I feel. They added some extra mass up here to the Hellcat Pro to really keep the snappiness down. I think both guns, they do a really nice job because you have a little bit heavier gun compared to some of the other ones I had mentioned before. And that little bit of extra mass here, both of them are flat shooting. What it really comes down to is trigger and sights. Although I don't like the sight setup with the Romeo Zero, I still found myself consistently hitting a little bit better shots with this gun because it's more of a standard setup as far as the sights. This U-notch drop in the bucket, I just don't shoot the best with this setup. Now, I could defend myself and I feel comfortable enough to hit the target consistently, but as far as which one in my hands is the better shooter, I definitely think it's the XL. These sights and that trigger, they're just not as good for me, in my opinion. So I'll give the nod there to the XL as far as the better shooter on the range. What about pros and cons, man? Let's start with the XL. Pros, man, front and rear slide serrations, does a really nice job. The Romeo Zero is nice. It actually matches the grip texturing that you have on your grip on the sight, which is a nice touch. Best stock sights, I think, from the factory on any pistol. And this trigger is incredible. The proprietary rail is kind of a bummer. And the magazine release, trying to reach that sometimes is not as efficient as it is on the Hellcat Pro. And I already mentioned I don't like this co-witness with the Romeo Zero. other than that, man, if you want one of the best feeling guns in the hand and one of the best shooters in this market, it's really hard to beat the XL. The Hellcat Pro, dude, they made the same size gun as the XL and fit 3 additional rounds in there. Same height, everything. This is on the bigger end of concealed carry. So, you know, you got to be dedicated when you go up to a size like this. In return, you're going to get a good shooting gun, and that capacity is incredible, man. What they did here with the original Hellcat was impressive. This is really impressive too, man. So nice job there. The front sight I really like. I wish they would change this to more of a squared notch. Grip texturing is awesome. The magazine release I like way better on this gun. And overall, and by the way, the slide serrations, I like them better on the 365. They're just cut deeper in the frame. Both of them have optics though, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. When it comes to optics, I actually like the Hex Wasp, I think, a little bit better. The dot seems clearer to me. I like the design of this too because it aids in charging up the gun. It's just a cleaner setup in my opinion. But when it comes overall guns, I would have to go with the XL. I'm more comfortable with it. I think it's a better shooter. I like the trigger better. Overall, that's the one I would go with. If I'm gonna grade these, I would say this one is like a 9. This one's like an 8.5. Super close, dude. But I will say I like the Hellcat Pro more than I did the original Hellcat. I think they did a lot of nice things here. And that's just my personal opinion, man. Love to know what y'all think down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, hold 'em down.